Hello, crafty friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me for my Happy Day series. Happy Day series is all about using items we have on hand or in our stash, and so I've had this in my stash for a long time. So we're going to make a card using this one. This is a Stamp-A-Cut set, a flower Stamp-A-Cut set from Hero Arts. So it does come with 2 coordinating dies, which is lovely. So we're just going to take everything out, and we're just going to make a card. Now, we're going to start off by taking a piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to be using some rounded rectangle dies. These are actually Hero Arts Infinity dies. I'm going to create a frame with them, and you can see here the cardstock that I'm using is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, so it's going to be pretty close to the size of my card base. It's just going to leave me a little bit of an edge, but I'm going to put 2 together and create my frame, and then I'm just going to go ahead and die cut that out. Okay, once we have that done, I'm going to take one size smaller than the outside frame length or in width, and I'm going to use a piece of vellum. Now this vellum is new to me. It's from Hero Arts. It's a 48-pound vellum, and it is so nice and thick. You could probably even make a card with this. I was so happy with it. Usually my favorite vellum is the Basil's vellum. I buy them in individually sheets, but I thought that this would be nice to have actually a full package, so I decided to, it wasn't actually too expensive either. It ends up being cheaper than my individual sheets of the Basil. But anyway, I like it. I just put it behind my frame there, and it fit perfectly because it was one size smaller. Now we're going to do some stamping. There's a large flower image in the stamp set, and so I took 2 little mini Hero Hue ink cubes. I took a bubble gum and then also a butter bar. I stamped one of the flowers with the bubble gum and then 2 flowers with the butter bar. Now the nice thing about this flower is there's another stamp that will stamp the inside of it and also an outline of this flower. So I'm going in with the opposite color that I used to stamp the flower base with the second layer. And it creates a real pretty corally color flowers, and I really like that. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Sorry about the wobbly camera. Okay, flowers are done. Now we're going to work on our leaves. There's one large single leaf stamp in the set, and so I'm going to stamp that using my mint julep little mini Hero Hue. I'm actually only going to need 3 leaves. I went heavy-handed on that third one there. So once we have that done, we are going to stamp our sentiment. Now, I thought it would be nice to bring in some brown ink. So to stamp the sentiment, I'm going to be using my Memento Rich Cocoa ink. Now, this sentiment's nice because it says thank you, but it has a little banner around it, and I thought that, I just love the way that looks. So I just stamped that, and now I'm going to take the coordinating dies and cut everything out. Now the little leaves didn't have a coordinating die. This set only came with 2 dies, so I'm going to just fussy cut those leaves out. And voila, there they are. Okay, I'm going to flip these over, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add some foam squares behind all of these images. They're all going to be popped up, and then we're going to set those aside. Now I wanted to add a little bit of color behind my vellum, so I'm going to go in with some peacock feather distress oxide ink, and I'm really lightly going over the bottom left hand corner of the vellum. I'm going to put it on some white cardstock so you can actually see, but I think the blue with the colors of the flowers is going to look really pretty. And I think oxide inks blend really well on vellum. I think it looks really soft and pretty. Okay, I think it's still a little bit wet, so I just decided to go over the oxide ink with my anti-static powder tool. Now, in the stamp set, there's this little flourish that has little circles on the end of it. And so since we're going to be stamping on vellum, I decided to use my StazOn ink. This StazOn ink is a Timber Brown, and I forgot how sticky StazOn ink was. I hadn't used it in quite a while, but it's very sticky. I stamped my first little flourish, and it didn't stamp too well, so I'm going to take a chance and double stamp it and I did get lucky. It stamped just fine. I'm actually going to stamp this flourish 4 times, and this 4th one I'm going to just kind of flip it over a little bit and go along the bottom of that frame. Lovely. I think that looks very nice. Okay, now we're going to grab our little popped up images and create a little scene. Still a little wet. So we're going to, first off, we're going to add our little flowers. Remove the backing off of our foam squares there. And I wanted a little cluster in that bottom left corner. So for here, I added the 2 different colors. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment. And then I'm going to take my final flower and just kind of tuck it underneath that banner. I'm going to remove the backing off my adhesive and stick down my leaves. And I think that looks really soft and pretty. Okay, now I thought it would be fun to take my Nuvo crystal drops. Well, I popped the frame. I added foam tape behind my frame, and then I'm going to place that on my card base. My card base is a standard A2 size card base. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I got a little ink on that corner, so I'm going to sand it off. Okay. But here's where I go in with the Nuvo crystal drops. I have bubblegum blush and then also Simply White. I thought it'd be fun to fill in those little circles and give that little flourish a little bit of dimension, and I really like the outcome. If you guys want to visit my blog, there'll be close-up pictures. You'll really be able to see the detail that the drops really added. But either that or Instagram too. Both of those I use different cameras for, so you might be able to see a little bit clearer. But I'm just alternating the colors on my little flourishes there, and I think that looks so fun. And I did dot the center of the flowers with Simply White. To add a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to go around my flowers and leaves with my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle pen here. And then that's it. That is my card for today. I think the stamp set is so fun, so versatile, but I think it created a real pretty soft thank you card. No. I wish you a fantastic day, guys. I encourage you to use what you have in your stash or what you have on hand and create some beautiful cards with your stuff. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.